The stock market, it's been on a total free fall these past few days, and we all get it. It's painful. And I'm getting a lot of questions about when is the bottom? Should they be buying? Should they be selling? And of course, the list goes on. First off, I think that we would all agree that you can't trust anybody that believes that they absolutely have the answers to any of those questions. But I do want to go over a few details, like the fact that this pullback is extremely uncomfortable. But it's not unexpected. On average, we have market pullbacks every 2 to 3 years, and our last one was in 2022. So in this case, our ticket really was up.
Tickets! Tickets! Who needs tickets?
And as investors, we train for this. And I share a lot of this in my videos, like the fact that Tesla was about to fall off a cliff just about a month ago. But certainly I didn't expect the whole market to follow. And I also share in my newsletter that I've been planning for this by being defensive with my investments, and I've been building a lot of cash reserves. And of course, I have to state that I am not giving any financial advice, but I am trying to be very transparent about my own actions so that you have some form of baseline to look at. But as I said earlier, pullbacks are extremely uncomfortable. And when I first began investing, I made the mistake of selling off some of my investments while they were going down and tanking, and I missed like 2 fantastic days when the markets popped back up. But by the time that I got back in, I pretty much lost twice as much as I needed to because of the opportunity cost, because I missed it when the stock went back up. My point in sharing that is don't be that version of me. It was a painful lesson to learn. Here's a chart that most of us need to revisit. It has $10,000 invested over 19 years, and it comes out to be just over $64,000. But if we try timing the market and we miss the top 10 best days in the bear market, then we wind up with half as much at $29,000. I can attest to the fact that it is a hard lesson to learn, but selling on a downturn and trying to time when to get back in, it's pretty much like gambling. As to the why the markets are going down, I don't really think that you need me to explain that. I mean, overall, tariffs are toxic, and they always have been. But it's people's emotional response to the uncertainty and the growing fears that are really feeding into it. Our political leaders have made these decisions, and we aren't given enough information to understand the goal or what the end game is. That only creates more confusion and more fear. However, if our political leaders choose to reverse course, it would probably cause the markets to skyrocket in a single day. Taking a step back, here's the thing with fear. It has tremors, sort of like how an earthquake has aftershocks. Even with good news, we could have that instant rebound, but it may also have a bit of a yo-yo effect of multiple times going up and down before people really feel at ease again. So just the other day, the NASDAQ dropped down to about its 200-day moving average. And my point in bringing that up is that my theory is that we haven't hit the bottom yet. We could easily drop another 5 to 10% before we truly hit the bottom. Averages are created by the fluctuations above and below the line. And honestly, we've been above that line for quite a while. Now, in every way, I am an optimist in life, but I'm also pretty much a realist when it comes to my investments. Maybe it's just the military background in me that's always preparing for the worst. But once again, all it takes is one shout out of good information, and suddenly the markets could rebound in an instant. Market pullbacks are a natural part of investing. And I promise you, in time, once you get to know the cycle and plan for it, then it becomes more exciting when the market drops. I know that sounds very counterintuitive, but you'll get there. Because these drops are a massive opportunity to make that generational wealth. And I have a playbook that I follow to a T in this situation because it worked very well for me during the Great Recession, it worked during the last trade war, and it worked during the COVID correction. And I promise you, I'll begin to map that out in this weekend's video as best that I can. And once you hear me explain it, it's gonna make really good sense, I think, because for the most part, it's common sense. For now, let's take emotion out of the equation for just a minute. I've had several conversations with people about Nvidia stock, and they felt it was too expensive to enter at $130, and it would be a steal to get it at $120. And now, today, it's trading at just over $105. That would be a great value 6 months ago. And nothing has changed with their financials or their fundamentals, which means it's a fantastic deal today. Could it still go down? Absolutely. Will it go back up to $140? Absolutely it will. Their fundamentals are near perfect. and the demand for their product is nearly unwavering. This is the time when I double down on my investments. And this is what has given me the freedom to quit that corporate life. And it's given me the freedom over my time. And I'm pretty sure that all of you want that too. As I mentioned, market pullbacks are uncomfortable, but I also hope that you see this as a massive opportunity. And none of you are in this alone. I mean, we'll all navigate this together. And I think that there's a lot of like-minded people on YouTube sharing a very similar approach as mine. And of course, there is one obvious difference between me and most of them. There's also the fact that I've lived through several of these, and I know how to plan for it. I'm going to work on sharing the details, at least part of my playbook for this weekend's video. So I hope to see you then, and as always, thanks for watching.